Hey guys, it's Team 2 Legit to Crit coming at you with a Gold Paladin Ezel Garmore deck profile, the longest deck in the game. I'll start off with the grade 3s. I run 4 Garmore because he just adds such consistency to the deck. You think playing one of a card you'll never see, but with Garmore you can see anything you want in the deck. And he just helps the deck run so much smoother. When you're at that 3 damage, you want to ride this. And then I run the 2 Ezels and the 2 Platina. It's not mainly a Platina Ezel deck. It's a normal Ezel Garmore deck with the 2 Tecton Platinas just for the 13k base, or if late game, if you actually still have the 3 counterblast, 5 damage, you can get off his effect and push for game. But this is the main dude of the deck, then the Ezels. And then for grade 2, a lot of people aren't running it, but I'm running the 3 Mean Lion, because with cross rides and everything else hitting high numbers nowadays, this helps you stay in the game and set up for your big pushes with Platina, Ezel, or Garmore. And you want to just survive that last turn because this deck pushes so hard, it only takes you 1 turn to win if you get the triggers you need. I tried out the, Blaster Dark Spirit and Blaster Blade Spirit because I run the 4 Garmores, but I always drew into them. I didn't like it. And you don't want to use your counterblast, you got to save your counterblast for your grade 3s.
What about the one guy where he's 12?
What do you mean, Gigantic?
No, the grade 2 for the Ezels.
Oh, I don't like him. He's a strong attacker, but I'd rather have the balanced defense. And he's hard to protect. He's 9k. If I want to protect something, I'd rather protect something that's going to help me defend. And then 3 Trip. This might go to 4 just because you like having your counterblast, and it puts the pressure on your opponent to guard early, so you can push those late game situations in the win. And then 4 Bowmain because I'm running Criff, and I obviously want to get his effect off so I can get the Ezel and Soul and get my 13k base Platina out as early as possible. I only run 10 grade 2s. A lot of people are like running 12. I've never gotten grade stuck. Usually I'll just mulligan until I get my grade 2s. But I wouldn't recommend running 10 grade 2s, but it works for me, so I go with it. And then grade 1s. I run bulky grade 1s. I run the 4 Gareth for this and just the 8k. It helps you hit 16, 17 with all your grade 2s. Even behind a Mean Lion, you can hit the cross rides. Not the cross rides, you can hit the 11Ks and still push for big numbers. The 3 Riki, a lot of people run the 1 Charge Goal or the 1, the grade 1, it's a 10k booster if you have more rear guards.
Tron.
A lot of Trons or Charge Goals. I don't like weak boosters in this deck, and a lot of times this sits behind my Vanguard the entire game, usually doesn't get retired, and behind my Vanguards it's a 20k column anyways from a limit break, so why would I need anything else behind my Vanguards? I do run the 4 Garmore, so I was running the 1 Charge Goal, but in the end I can still hit high columns without it, and it's situational having the Garmore on the rear guard, because a lot of times I use it for the perfect guards. Then I run 3 Slagles. Oftentimes you do have the full field, so you can use this effect, and it helps you hit those magic numbers again, because that's what this deck is about, hitting those magic numbers, forcing your opponents to overguard, and just pushing for extremely high pushes. And then for the defensive end, you have to run the 4 perfect guards, because a lot of time in this deck you have a small hand size and you don't have the ability to guard unless you have the perfect guards. And then just the 1 of Silver Fang Witch, because you run the 4 Garmores, it's a free draw. If you don't need to set up a column, so you already have your Bowmains out and your Gareths, you don't need any more on your columns. It's nice to just have the extra draw ability. And then for triggers, obviously running the 4 heal. And then I'm going for a mixed approach. I don't like the 8 crits because your hand size is so small in this deck, so I run the 6 crits and then 6 draws. The draws work amazingly. I usually have 5 to 6 cards in my hand, as opposed to what I would normally have in Gold Paladin when I first started playing it with the 8 crits. Would just be 1 or 2 cards in hand. I couldn't guard anything. Basically, the idea of this deck, I finished the deck profile. The idea of this deck, early, you want to ride this, set up your columns, call your Bowmain, your Mean Line if your opponent's pushing hard, or a Gareth if you have your grade 2s in hand or grade 3s, and just have those nice columns. Then you ride your Ezel. If you haven't used Garmore's ability, then you use the 2 counterblast, get your Superior Call, force your opponent to overguard, and the next turn go Ezel. Alright guys, that's the deck profile. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments, any suggestions, anything that you would change in the deck. And that's about it guys. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
Peace.